Wagwan guys.
What's good?
Welcome to or welcome back to Mission Accomplished.
It's been a long time, but where are we? Showcase the lives of accomplished much.
Facts.
Anyways, guys, we've been gone for a really long time. We haven't podcasted in a long time. Today we have a very special guest.
Special guests only.
Which is the one rule we always keep on this podcast. Now we'll let her introduce ourselves instead of us guys yapping the whole time.
Thank you so much.
We're like throwing a baton to you.
I've caught it. Thank you. So my name is Mercy Wambui. I'm an educator, a teacher, which I love. But that's my passion. And I teach on life skills. I mentor young people. And I'm also an environmental educator.
Dave.
And I'm a mom. Yes.
That's so cool. Did you always want to be a teacher or an environmental educator?
And a mom.
Or was it something that you picked up on the way?
I always wanted to be a mom. Growing up, I always knew I'll have like very many children. And I grew up thinking I want to become a doctor. I used to admire in TV the way they wear like lab coats, stethoscopes. I used to think that was cool. I got an A-, so I did nursing instead of medicine. But as soon as I got by the time I was in a third year university student going to work, I figured out I think I want to teach. I felt like a lot of people don't know like the cause of why they are unhealthy, but if they ate better food, they would become healthy. So I've slowly transitioned. So I transitioned from nursing to an educator, and now I've been an educator for like close to 12 years, and in different capacities, but I teach.
Do you teach at a specific school or just in general? Like say for example, I come to you and then I'm like, I've tried these weight loss thingies and they're not working. Or you teach at a specific?
That's a good question, which my mom still asks. What kind of an educator are you? So the first kind of an educator I am is I run a company called Angaza, and we mentor students, young people. So students and young people on life skills, awareness, work ethics, and just how to be more responsible human beings, how to excel in the workspace. And I've done that since like 2012. So I transitioned, I did a course, I'm a certified career coach. So I did a course where I'm able to mentor people into like life skills and just how to be successful in life. Environmental education came in much later. So in 2021, I joined an organization called Kavu, and I've been, I'm the education director at Kavu. And now I actually self-taught and learned more about environment because it's a passion I have. And I've been doing now both for the last 2 years. So that's why I say I'm a teacher and I teach.
Could you tell us a bit more about your childhood? So I'm throwing it so much like way back. Yeah.
Way back. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in Isili. Do you guys know Isili?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Isili, Eastlands. And I remember my childhood as fun. Like I played a lot. I was those kids who are always playing. Like it's getting dark and I'm playing up all the way to like my high school. I grew up with my mom, my sister and brother in a very loving family. My mom is a Christian and she like taught us faith in God. And we are all like Christians. I'm a born again Christian, my brother and sister. And that faith in God has really like crafted who we've become as person. Because even now as I teach, I go back to the basics. Who are you? And you can only know who you are based on who did God create you to be. When you discover your God-given purpose, then you're living. You know, they say the best day in your life is the day you're born and the day you discover why. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So I keep telling any young person I encounter, let's go back to who you are. So go back to your creator, find out who you are. Why did God bring you on this earth? Then live out your God-given purpose.
Interesting.
That's cool. So, you said that you work at Angaza. My bad. Angaza and Kavu. So, if your 15-year-old self was to come to the future and see how much you've accomplished now, how would they react?
Wow. 15-year-old Mercy would be proud because she was a dreamer. So at 15, in my teenagehood, I used to dream a lot. I used to love watching the sunset. I was in a boarding school. I'd go to the field. So we used to have prayer after 4 p.m. Then I'd go and just watch the sunset and write my thoughts. So when I read back through my journals, I really wanted to travel. I wanted to like have many children who I am with and doing all these kind of things. And that's what, so as much as biology, so like I have very many children because I have so many people I've mentored over the years. Some of our trainers are actually people I met when they were teenagers. And now 10 years later, they're the ones who are leading training. So I'm like, oh, I'm proud of that one. So my 15-year-old self would be, I think they'll be proud of what Mercy has done. They'd be a bit disappointed though, because the current Mercy is not dreaming as much as the 15-year-old Mercy. So I need to get back to that.
How do you help someone choose their career?
At Angaza, you see, do you know what Angaza means?
No,
In
I have
Swahili?
no idea.
Like shine.
Shine.
Oh, it
means
you know,
shine.
Tanga, like, what is it? Tangaza, no, was it
Angaza is to
Tangaza?
announce, yeah.
Tangaza is to announce. Mwangaza.
Mwangaza.
Mwangaza means light.
To light.
Yeah.
So, God created us in His image, in His likeness. And if God is light, we are light. You know, He equates us to light and salt. Do you know that in the Bible? So that's what I deeply believe. I believe that a human being, you're either like a light. It means when you come into a room and it's dark, what happens when you bring light into that room?
It lights up.
Can you bring darkness into a room?
No.
But you can bring light. Darkness is actually an absence of light. So usually when I find a young person confused, which is a normal thing, I tell every young person, mostly you're trying to figure out what career path will I choose and all that. So when I find someone confused, is let's go back to the basics. Pray and trust in God. Then try ask around you, what are you good at? Because there are things you've said along the way as you are growing up. Let me give you a short story. When I was 18 is after Form 4 before university. So I had passed, then I didn't get to medicine, I qualified for nursing. And when I was going to do nursing, my mom told me, "Hey, Wambui, now I think you should be a teacher. I think you teach." You know what I told her when I was 18?
What?
Mom, you don't know. When you get an A, you don't go and become a teacher. You know, you go and become a doctor and all that. Why? Because when I grew up, our teachers used to tell us, Soma usikakue kama mimi. You know, like, people of my generation would understand that. Like, teaching used to be, if you fail, then you do teaching. So it's so sad that I grew up thinking you do teaching if you're if you failed. Anyway, by the time I was doing second year university, I was like, oh my goodness, I think I want to teach. What does that show? God had already brought out that light in me. That was the light that even my parent had observed. So trust me, if you speak to the people around you, there is that thing that you do effortlessly and naturally. If you craft a career path based on that, you're more or less on the right path. You know, they say the blessings of God don't come with sorrow. So if you're struggling so much with something, maybe that's not your, you know, the thing that clicks and it's it. So pray to God, deepen your faith in God, but also try find out what do I think about when I'm bored? What is the thing that I do naturally? Then your career is based on that. Because your giftings, that's where your career is. God already created you with the gifts of what you're supposed to give this world. Oh. So basically, when we're speaking to young people who are confused about career, we advise them, go and do work experience. Go and volunteer somewhere. Spend your time doing things. Then in that doing, you'll actually discover what comes naturally to you.
That's cool. How do you balance your work time and the time that you have for hobbies or recreational activities?
So I love scheduling and planning. And I usually have a diary, everywhere I go. So usually I plan out my week. So I know what I'll do next week. So I allocate time.
That's crazy. I don't usually keep a diary at all. I just take life as it comes.
Enjoy. That's the age you're at. So we were just discussing earlier is depending with how many things, how many responsibilities you have, yeah? So the younger you are, life is like a river. You flow, you enjoy, you have fun. As you grow older, then you realize I want to spend time with my family. I want to create my career. I love hiking. I want to spend time to hike and read and write. So I schedule. So I can tell you what I'll do next week on Wednesday. Like that.
Interesting. What would you say was the greatest achievement in your career at Angaza and or Kaku?
Wow. I think for me, my greatest achievement in all the work I've done is the young people I've worked with and mentor, when I see them take over. I keep telling the young people is, every day I want to replace myself. So if I'm training today, I want those students to become so good that they're the ones who can train in the future. So my biggest achievement is because they are young people who we are currently working with, 28-year-old, 29-year-old, who we met at 18. So they were students, but now they're teachers. I feel for me like that's my biggest achievement.
That's interesting. So, on the flip side, if you've had one, what was the lowest moment in your career?
Wow. My lowest moment, I feel, was there's a business I was doing with a friend, and then they betrayed, whatever agreement we had, they flipped on it and didn't honor it. So that really set
Someone
me
needs
back.
to speak to that friend. Friend, if you're listening,
Messed up,
you messed up.
But now let me tell you the flip side. That for me has been a biggest learning point. I feel like the success I've achieved in the last 5 years is actually based in that incident. So the way the point of your biggest pain becomes the biggest learning point. That's exactly what has happened. I feel like it removed me from a comfort zone. You see, you could be swimming in a pond,
Yeah.
but you become too big for the pond and you need to go swim in the ocean. That's how I can describe my life in the last 5 years. I moved from a pond to an ocean. So I feel like it was maybe God's way of telling me, Mercy, you're becoming too comfortable.
Friend, we love you and we hate you at the same time.
And you, man, you let us down.
God
You
used
messed up,
them.
but you built
Exactly.
at the same time. So we're having mixed emotions.
Yeah.
It happened. So even you, as you encounter life, sometimes you could be going through a painful period, but maybe when you, and I feel like that's the reason I believe in prayer. Because I find that when I'm praying and I'm asking God, why? You had to go through that lesson, my dear daughter.
Okay. What would you say, where do you see your company in the next 10 years?
Wow. So this is me putting on back the dreaming hat.
Yeah.
And I feel like, so Mercy as an educator I'm at a point in my life where I want to leave impact and legacy. That means writing books. Because we've done a lot of trainings and all that, sort of putting them on paper so that they can last forever. Training more young people so that we have a whole generation of people who we've trained.
Do you have a goal, of people you want to mentor?
So a goal in terms of number of people we want to mentor.
Yeah.
Oh wow, thank you for that question, because I need to put a number to it.
Yeah. Because we interviewed this company called Chipurobo,
Yes.
and they usually mentor kids in technology,
Yes.
and their goal is 6,000 children.
Oh wow. So I feel like I would put it we want our goal for the next 2 to 3 years to actually have mentored over 1,000 students in Kenya. That's students and young people. And our mentorship journey takes 6 to 9 months, because you go through training, but you also go through work experience, so that you're able to, if you learn about timekeeping, you do a real timekeeping exercise. Yes.
By the way, I forgot to mention, her daughter is actually behind the camera. And she's
Yeah.
doing a good job. I
Yeah.
don't think she switched it off.
Have you switched it off? She has switched it off. Then now we find she wasn't recording.
Oh, oops,
That
for the
would
whole time.
suck.
So part of my achievement, part of my proud moments, because I've trained her since she was young, then I'm thinking, a young adult now who is ready for the world of work.
Interesting. I think that has reached the end of my questions.
Yeah.
We've come to the end of the podcast, but then before we end, the most important question of the whole podcast. What advice would you give to people who would like to become educators and people who are still trying to navigate their life and their career path?
Spend more time seeking out your life purpose. I feel like that's the time spent sharpening an axe before you go to cut the tree. So pray, meditate, soul search, spend a lot of time trying to answer the question is, why did God bring me on earth? What was I created to do? Then once you discover, and you don't have to see the whole way. If you know, I came here to make people happy, then just start. I came here to create this, then just start. So spend more time trying to answer the question is, why did God bring me on earth?
Anyways, guys, I feel like we're discussing
Those
many
chance
people.
games.
Anyways, guys, it's been good.
The people behind the scenes are telling us.
Stop. Yeah, way to go.
Ah,
Anyways, guys, adios.
adios.
We are Mtoto News, a digital platform that empowers children. We curate and create engaging content about and by children through audio, video, writing, and infographics. We believe children should be players, not spectators. Through child-led research, we amplify young voices, shaping policies and programs. To partner or donate, send an email to info@mtotonews.com or call 0705855258. Mtoto News, making children visible.